It's great to have you all here for this session, which is all about the power of the voice. Now, most of you must be wondering, what on earth did I do right now? You're not alone. I'm sure for many, it'll be very, very surprising. Why did I just do this? And I did this. That is in sign language, which is hello, what's up, or how are you? So the power of our voice is undeniable. When we do not utilize our voice, we are immediately perplexed. There is a huge difference when we do use our voice and when we don't. Why is that? The first one is because our voice helps us to connect to people. All of you who are here today, you're all connecting to the session through my voice. So the first one would be connectivity. The second one is about personality. And I say personality because for those of you who are in this session, now when I'm speaking to you and how you reply back will be giving me a glimpse about your personality, how effectively you're able to use your language. Your voice also contributes a lot to how you are seen as a communicator and a leader. So voice modulation is very, very important when it comes to communicating, whether at a personal level or in a professional level. Now, how can you care for your voice? What do you mean by caring for your voice? It is about being aware of your breath. Imagine if you're not very conscious about how much your breath helps you to speak. For example, supposing I'm speaking to you, yes, so this is what we'll do, and this is what we'll do, and the voice also helps us. And if I'm going on like a train, you are very, very unlikely to understand. So in other words, there needs to be good breath control. Because when you have an effective breath control, you are able to be heard better, to be understood better, and to also be a lot more pleasing to the other person's ears. So that is something we need to be aware of, which is being aware of our breath. Practice relaxation. Yoga is one way of also relaxing. It is not something very, very pleasant for everyone. I mean, for me, I don't find yoga pleasant at all. I do everyday yoga because it's supposed to be good, so I do it. But I don't enjoy, it doesn't relax, but it is supposed to also help us relax, tone as well. And of course, there's something called meditation. Meditation is also extremely good for relaxing. You can also learn to control your breath. Think about a lot of positive thoughts, because that also will help you to relax. And that relaxation will impact your voice as well. The posture. Now, when you sit slouched, imagine if I'm sitting, you can see from, I think you can all see me. Supposing I'm slouched like this and sitting, instead of sitting straight, that also will make a difference in your voice. Because when you slouch yourself, for example, if your shoulders are sitting in a manner which is not comfortable for you, your voice is going to get impacted. So always sit straight, absolutely straight, erect, and then speak. And if you are standing, stand erect and speak, because that will affect the quality of your voice. The other thing is about articulation. Now, what is articulation? Articulation is nothing more than how do you pronounce your words? Are you articulating the words carefully? Is it with clarity? And are you giving importance to how it sounds? So making sure how the words sound is also very, very crucial. Then your voice will also enhance how clearly a word sounds. So that is articulation. Emotion. Controlling your emotion is also very, very crucial when it comes to your voice. Because imagine you are extremely sad and you need to speak in an interview. How would you approach? If your emotions are overcoming the tone of your voice or affecting the tone of your voice, you would not be able to speak the way you would like to. So controlling the voice, the emotion is also important when you are communicating. How effectively are you using your voice? Now, this is a question which a lot of people have told me, what is there? I mean, when I'm angry, my voice sounds different. When I'm happy, my voice sounds different. What else is there? It is about knowing your voice. Record your voice. And here, listen to how it sounds. You will also get an idea of, is it too soft? Is it too loud? Is it too abrupt? Or is it too deep? Record your voice. Maybe you could just read something from a book and hear how does your voice sound. So be aware of your voice, the first one. And I think, like I mentioned earlier, breathing, that also makes a huge difference. When you're able to breathe well, yes, your voice also would reflect the quality of your breath. Sound enthusiastic, not very, very sober all the time. Even in a corporate environment, you don't have to be, of course, as enthusiastic as perhaps in a personal situation, but definitely enthusiasm is important. That is about enthusiasm there. The other thing is about projecting your voice to the role you are playing. Sometimes, in some cases, reducing the pitch of the voice and, of course, bringing in pauses can make what you are trying to say more effective as well. We now come to the corporate environment. When we are giving presentations, what is the first step that ought to be done when it comes to communicating effectively with your voice? The first one would be slowing down. For people who come from different regions and different nationalities, the way how we speak our mother tongue makes a big difference on the way how we are speaking in another language. Changing your position. Now, if supposing we were not online and we were actually, or you were all sitting in front of me and then I would be standing up to speak to you because I would need more power in terms of speaking to you. But if we were sitting in a boardroom, there are just few of us, we are all sitting down, I would be addressing you in a seated position. So that also makes a difference. So always be conscious of the position that you need to be in when you are speaking to people. So that is something for us to be conscious so that we can bring out the best in our voice. The other thing is adjusting the volume. Imagine if you were all in a huge hall. How would I be sounding? I would be sounding a lot more loud. I may not have a microphone. So that is something we need to be conscious about. Adjusting the volume. If all of us are sitting in a small room and we are speaking, we don't have to necessarily adjust the volume to as much a level as if we are all sitting in a huge room and there are lots of people in the room. The tempo is also important. How you are speaking. Is the tempo in line that you are being understood well? Think about it. When you talk about business or an environment that requires formality, the tone we use is definitely very, very different from the tone that we would use otherwise. Why is that? Because studies have shown, interestingly, that a deeper voice communicates assertiveness, leadership, confidence, capability than a higher pitch voice. Every time you're using your voice, you're actually straining it. So you need to be conscious of how you take care of it. For example, there is one technique that you are able to use, all of you can use. For example, in the morning, supposing you're just sitting in a very, very upright posture, sitting straight, and you are just, if you can observe me, you would be able to understand. And I'm going like, Om. Now this is giving it has to be a lot more longer, and you will notice that your voice is resonating, and that actually helps your voice to get stronger as well. This is of course something very, very small. The other thing would be, taking care of your voice would be to ensure you have something which is warm as much as possible in terms of your drinks, that is water, and stay clear of aerated drinks as well, because that's not particularly good for your voice. And of course, things that are very cold, best avoided. So even though many of you may not be necessarily singers, it doesn't matter. Protecting your voice is very, very crucial, because your voice is part of your personality. So how you project would be very, very important, your voice. So if you're not taking care of your voice and you find your voice is slightly croaky and not so effective, it is getting projected when you're speaking to someone. When a person is speaking to you, how you speak, how your voice is, will make an impact. One thing I can tell you is that the more prepared you are, the more confident you will feel. For example, if I did not come prepared at all, I'm definitely not going to feel very comfortable, because I'm not prepared. So to make sure you don't feel scared, you feel confident about what you have to say, make sure you come thoroughly, thoroughly prepared. Any topic you're taking up and you are speaking on, think of ways of personalizing it for your audience, because then the audience can feel a lot more closer to the speaker. That's the first one. The second one, that's about the liveliness question that you asked me. The second one is about the ums and ahs. To reduce the ums and ahs, I would once again suggest being better prepared, because the more prepared you are, the less likely you are to say ums and ahs, or you wouldn't be having to put in filler words, because you would be better prepared. So preparation is one of the key areas for becoming a better communicator and for presenting any subject.